How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to review this Ghoul RC quadcopter. I reviewed quadcopters in a very large price range, anywhere from $15 all the way up to $1,000 quadcopters. Now this one hovers anywhere from $50 to $60 depending on when you buy it. Looking at all of these, there are various reasons where you would want to get one. Number one is, are you trying to learn how to fly a quadcopter? If you are, you might want to go with a smaller one where it's cheaper, just in case if you crash it, then you won't be losing all that much money. This one is sort of like a mid-tier one where you sort of should know how to fly it already, because the controls are a little weird. It's not the standard controls where you have one joystick being the throttle, the other one being the control of the direction. So let me go back and unbox this for you and then give this a little test run. So it arrives like this. You gotta cut open the bag. An upgraded foldable drone with gravity sensing control. It says Ghoul RC. Interesting choice for the name. This little padding thing, it's a little bit sticky here, so you're not supposed to pull that off. Lithium polymer battery. Snaps into place. This thing seems like I need to push it in like this. Yeah, and then it locks, and then if you want to take it out, you unlock it like that. So you got a whole bunch of manuals. I only need the English one. This appears to be English and Japanese. 4 little foam sticky things, extra propellers, and a screwdriver. Charging cable. This thing right here is really light. It's like, I don't know if you can tell if I just kind of bounce it around. You can probably tell from the inertia of this thing. The motor is sideways over here, so there's going to be a right angle gear change inside this thing. 720p camera. Notice that it's a fixed camera over here. You can move it up and down, yes, but there's no gimbal to stabilize the video. So if you see my previous drone review videos, and if you ever try to move the drone left and right, it's essentially going to move the whole camera left and right. So if you don't fly very stably, then the video output, it's going to be, you know, really jerky, really sleek. I'm not sure how you're supposed to use this just yet. Nothing else underneath this thing. So that's it. You got 2 batteries, this controller thing, and I think you need to download an app to control this. It seems like over here you charge this battery just by plugging this straight into the battery. I'm gonna go and charge these things up before I give this a test run. This charger is very similar to other simplistic chargers that I've seen. When you plug it in, the light turns off. When it's done charging, the light turns on red. In the manual, it tells you to unplug it as soon as it's charged, because this thing will leak a little bit of current into your battery. Over time, it's gonna overcharge it way too much and then eventually break the battery. So it's very important to unplug this right when the light turns on. I finished charging the battery and it goes into the belly of this thing right here, like this. Push it in like that, and then it just kind of flips in like this. Now I have the chance to test it out with this controller. Now, you'll notice that this controller is a little funny. It's not like any other one where you have a throttle stick on the left side and the forward, back, left, right movement on the right side. This thing, the forward, back, left, right movement, is controlled by an accelerometer inside to this thing. So you can go forward, back like this, left, right like this. This guy you push down to have the motors ramp up to hover level, and then you can increase and decrease the throttle like this. It returns to the center, unlike some controllers where it's always at the bottom and you have to manually control the altitude. This one, it just hovers if you let go of this joystick right here. The rudder, which is actually turning the quadcopter, is controlled by left, right over here. Now there are other features with this thing. You can turn on and off the device over here. I actually find that putting in the battery is a little difficult. There's a little gap over here and you gotta kind of wedge your fingernail in there and just kind of pull it open. And then you can put your 2 AAA battery in there like that, and it locks in place. Okay, you push this for high speed, low speed. 3 headless modes, which means it doesn't care about which way it's turned. If you pull back on it, it'll come back to you no matter which way it's turned. If it's not in headless mode, if you pull back, it's gonna go backwards. Depending on which way it's facing forward, it might be facing you. So if you pull backward, it's gonna go further away. So this is a point of confusion for a lot of novice flyers. And it takes a little bit of getting used to be able to remote control something in any orientation that it's flying, because you've gotta mentally be able to kind of turn your controls around as you turn the quadcopter. For calibration, you need to have it on somewhere flat to make sure that it can hover well. Number 5, emergency stop. So you gotta kind of remember that if you're about to crash into something, you want it to stop, press 5. This is the lowest button. Number 6, light control. You can turn on and off the light. So we are ready to fly. So let me turn on this device. I'm gonna face it that way, and then I'm gonna turn on this controller. And then you're supposed to push this up and then down. Okay, it did a double beep. It means, okay, it got it. Now I'm going to manually calibrate it. Push this button for 2 seconds. I'm gonna try to have my hand within view so that you can see what I'm doing with the controller. So I just pushed it. Now it's in hover mode. So if I give it just a little bit of throttle, it's gonna go up. So you see, if I tilt my hand left, right, the quadcopter goes left and right. If I go forward, back, goes forward, back. And this is in slow mode, so if I change it to high speed mode, so I know how to fly the little guys, but needing to control 2 things with one hand makes it a little bit difficult. So this is kind of like an intermediate to advanced type of flying. And I think this blinking over here kind of means that it's running out of battery. I have the new battery in. I'm gonna start the timer over here. So now it's on. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to fly in a circle. Oops. Yep, I am not very good at this. Let me tell you, this one-hand control thing is a bit disorienting. Spin around once. There we go. I'm gonna try to fly backwards. Okay, not so good flying backwards. 6 minutes flying so far with little pauses. Sort of gives you an idea of how long it lasts. It's still going, so that's a good sign. Kind of like holding it like that. Yes, you can catch it in midair. Oh, okay, now it says it's running out of battery. So timer says 7 minutes and 20 seconds. About 40 seconds after it says it's running out of battery, then it's gonna force a landing. So now they do have the Google RC app on the App Store. I tried it before, and you know, with this controller being hard enough already, without any tactile controls on a controller, it's also really hard to fly. You can move your finger off of the touchscreen and then you won't know where your fingers are, and you know, that's a really, really bad idea. So yes, you can fly this thing with a touchscreen via Wi-Fi. So we're gonna go try that out. I've installed the Google RC app, and the procedure is to turn on this device and then connect to the Wi-Fi. Turn it on. I'll set it back there, and then you connect to a thing called UAV something something. And then I'm gonna start the app. Once you start the app, you just click connect. And then right now you see the live video feed. And then over here, I'm gonna begin the video recording. I need to turn on the control so you can see it first. And then you can see I can't take off right now. You gotta touch this little hourglass thing in order to take off. Like that. And so now I can start controlling it. I'm gonna try to fly this without running into myself, and also record the video so that you guys can see what it's being recorded. So let me give this a go. I essentially have to fly backwards now because I want the camera facing me. It might just be easier for me to hold the drone to show you the video quality rather than fly it, because I'm not actually that good at flying backwards yet. But let me try again. Now, start recording, turn on controls, start hovering. It's been pretty robust. I noticed a good thing about this thing is that the arms would bend in if you crash. So it kind of takes off the load from the propellers from braking. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, a little bit better this time. I mean, my skill is not all that bad when I'm using a different controller. This thing that has a touchscreen is a lot more harder to control. And I just tried flying the little ones again, and I can fly those backwards, but not this one somehow. Hello, everybody. Oh. Okay, this particular instant, I definitely tried to land it, and you guys saw me, I almost landed. I had my finger all the way at the bottom of this throttle thing, and somehow it did not cut the throttle. I had to push stop in order to stop. I had to push stop in order to stop this thing from flying. So overall, I think the quality of this thing is really good just looking at the live feed of this thing. The controls are a little bit hard. You cannot look at the live feed while using this normal control, so it's one or the other. So thanks for watching this review of this Ghoul RC quadcopter. It is an interesting new way to fly with this dual control in a single hand thing. I don't recommend it for beginners, and a fly time of about 7 minutes, it's a little bit on the short side. So this thing is definitely in the toy territory for me. If you want to capture a little bit of video, yes, you can use a smartphone to do that. If you're interested in getting one of these, I'll leave an affiliate link down in the video description below. And as always, if you're interested in supporting my channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook. I have a Patreon over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.